constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win. Now the 2-1. Line drive to the base hit. Justice has scored the tying run. Green to the plate. And he is safe. Safe at the plate. The Braves go to the World Series.
Have reserved seats somewhere along one of the baselines that sat when they were children and cheered their heroes.
Gibson swings and a fly ball to deep right field. This is going to be a home run. Unbelievable!
A 3-run home run for Bucky Dent. The Yankees now lead by a score of 3-2.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mazeroski has hit a 1-0 pitch over the left field fence at Ford Field to win the 1960 World Series.
They'll arrive at your door as innocent as children, longing for the past.
The Pope arrived at Yankee Stadium. As one enthusiastic announcer put it, he is standing on second base.
Reggie Jackson. Long drive right field. It is goodbye. Big World Series.
The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run.
Back and throws. There's a left back. It's going to be, I believe, the Giants from the pennant. The Giants from the pennant. The Giants from the pennant.
The 0-1 pitch. A liner off Nagy's glove into center field. The Florida Marlins have won the World Series.
The memories will be so thick that I can brush them with my faces.
The 1-0 delivery to Fisk. He swings long drive left field. If it stays there, it's gone. Home run. The Red Sox win. And the series is
Lolich fires. Ball is hit high in the air. This should be the series. Freehand waving everybody away in foul territory. Detroit wins. Here's the pitch to Willie. Here's a liner straight to Richardson. The ball game is over and the World Series is over. Willie McCovey hit it like a bullet. A line drive right.
Baseball to mark the time.
The Oakland A's take. I'll tell you what, we haven't heard.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Candlestick Park for Game 3 of the 1989 World Series.
It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again.
Frank Robinson, the right-hand batter.
long drive to left field. Way back. Gets it back. One out.
Base hit loaded, 1 out. Pena in a chance. The Twins are going to win the World Series. The Twins have won it.
Ozzie with 1 out. Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run. And the
Willie Mays just brought this crowd to its feet with a catch, which must have been an optical illusion to a lot of people.
This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again.
Broadcasted live.
Who wants to have some fun?
There are balls coming from all over the place. Left field, center field, right field. See, this is the kind of thing, quite honestly, right now, that makes you want to see the Chicago Cubs team lose.
Now, are you just saying you want to have fun, or do you really want to have fun?
It'll be fun.
Will the next person that sees anybody throw anything onto this field, point them out, or get them out of here? You don't live in Cleveland. You live in Cincinnati.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
That is the farthest thing in the universe from the truth.
Hello, everyone, live. It's the Dan Scott Show. And right there is your host, Dan Scott.
All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Friday edition of the show.
I am Dan Scott. Good to have you with us. And, man, we have got a jam-packed hour, maybe an hour plus for you today. We have a deep dive look into Furman and the Citadel. We're going to break it down by the numbers right here at the top of the program. We're going to take a look at the current standings up to the minute, including the one game in the SoCon that was played last night. And we're going to look at the rest of the schedule for this weekend. We're going to visit live with Doug Allison, the Furman men's soccer coach. That'll be right around 10:15. And then the entire second half of the program pretty much will be taken up with an interview that I recorded on Wednesday with Furman Athletic Director Jason Donnelly, his first one-on-one interview, and 25 minutes of really, really good stuff. It's out on Furman's Facebook page already. It was put up there last night. It will be up on the Twitter page a little bit later on as far as Furman is concerned. But you're going to see it here live on the show today. So get ready for that because it is, if you're a Furman fan and you want to know the direction of this athletic department, you're going to want to watch the second half of the program. So let's hop right into it. It is homecoming weekend. Man, it is a gorgeous day outside right now. And I say right now because the weather forecast had turned considerably the last time that we looked at it. I'm live. I would say this is live broadcasting at its best, but we all know this ain't its best. But just pulling up the weather forecast for tomorrow, 57 degrees and a 100% chance of rain tomorrow. So welcome to Homecoming 2019 on Furman University's campus. Hopefully the weather will be okay through the first part of the day so we can get this game in without too much interruption. But you know what? If it rains, say, old-time football, baby. Let's go at it and see what happens. The 99th renewal of the rivalry between these two Southern Conference opponents, the oldest rivalry in the history of the SoCon, Furman with a 65-30-4 lead in the series. And as we begin play today, first let's take a look at the standings. Chattanooga beat ETSU 16-10 last night. So up to the minute, Chattanooga has moved into a tie. Chattanooga, a bit of a surprise in the league so far. The biggest surprise in the league sits right behind them, VMI, at 3-1 in conference play and 4-3 overall. Then Wofford at 2-1, Sanford 2-2. Then comes the Citadel, along with Mercer at 1-2, and Western and ETSU have yet to win inside Southern Conference play. So up to the minute, Chattanooga is sitting in a first-place tie with the Paladins. So we flip over, take a look at the schedule. I said 16-10. It was actually 16-13. Chattanooga beat ETSU last night. And the rest of the schedule, Citadel at Furman, 1 o'clock. Western Carolina at Wofford, 1:30. And VMI at Mercer at 3 p.m. You got to figure the way VMI is playing, coupled with the way Mercer is playing, the Keydets have a chance to guarantee themselves no worse than a 500 record in this league if they beat Mercer on Saturday. And that is something that I think most people would have thought, hey, there's no chance. Coming into this season, they had lost, I think it was 22 consecutive games to Division I opponents. And here they are at 4-3 overall and 3-1 in the league, and a chance to go to 4-1 if they can win on the road at Mercer. That's been a pretty cool story, what Scott Wachenheim has done in Lexington, Virginia. And we see them here at Paladin Stadium in early November. So that's the schedule. Those are the standings. What about Furman and the Citadel? How do these teams stack up? Well, let's start by looking at the numbers. You see the points per game favors Furman. The total offense, rushing yardage, all favors Furman. The yards per carry is well in favor of the Paladins. Passing yardage, all the offensive numbers really favor the Paladins in a big way. And then you get to the defense, and those numbers favor the Paladins pretty much as well. Points allowed, 11 fewer points a game. Total defense, Paladins win that category. The Citadel does allow fewer rushing yards per game, but the average yards per carry are almost identical. Citadel allows a boatload of passing yards, as you can see there, almost 250 per game and 14.5 yards per completion. And the Paladins are +3 in the turnover margin, and the Citadel is even on the season. When you go to the individual leaders for the Citadel, you're going to see two names offensively, Rainey, the quarterback, and Raleigh Webb, the wide receiver. And that's pretty much it. Rainey is their leading passer, obviously, also their leading rusher. He's accounted for 21 touchdowns on the season, and Webb has 7 touchdown catches among his 18 total receptions. For the Paladins, obviously it's Darren Granger leading the way from the quarterback spot. Devin Wynn with 639 yards rushing. He is on pace to go well past 1,000 yards, and the Paladins haven't had a 1,000-yard rusher since Hank McLeod in 2013. Thomas Gordon continues to lead the team in catches, touchdowns, and receiving yards, and then you see the defensive numbers there as well. So that's a look at the team numbers. That's a look at the individual leaders for both teams. And this Citadel team is interesting because we refer to them as a triple option team, but talking with Clay Hendricks yesterday, talking with defensive coordinator Dwayne Vaughn yesterday, and these are no state secrets, they have been more of what you would call a double option team than the triple option aspect of that offense. It's been a lot of Brandon Rainey running the football at the quarterback position and a lot of handing off to the B-back or the fullback. When you look at their rushing numbers, which I don't have on screen, but just to give you an idea, we did show you Rainey's rushing numbers, 433 yards per game, and then Clay Harris, the B-back or the fullback, is next at 432. When you get to the wing guys, the A-back, you drop all the way down to Dante Smith at 163 yards on the season when it comes to running the football. He does have 4 catches for 101 yards, but they're not getting production out of their wing backs or their A-backs in large part. They have been basically just grinding it out with the fullback and with Rainey keeping the ball and running it. And their rushing totals show that. They're averaging 3.8 yards per carry. They are not gashing teams in that option and hitting them with big plays. What they are doing is winning the battle of time of possession and keeping opposing offenses off the field. So that's going to be an interesting matchup when you take a look at how this game plays out on Saturday, because Clay Hendricks obviously loves to run the football. Citadel wants to run the football and try to hit you with the big plays in the passing game. They've thrown it a total of 65 times all season long, or 62 times, and maybe have completed 35 of those. But of those 35 completions, a third of them have gone for touchdown passes. So like most option teams, they get you looking, get your eyes in the wrong place, and they run somebody behind you for a big play. Well, that's the way their offense has been operating this season. The Paladins, we know what their offense has been. We know that it has been ground heavy. A lot of that has been due to getting big leads in the first half, early second half, and basically being able to shut down the passing game for the most part and just continue to pound the football and get big yardage on the ground, the explosion plays the coaches talk about. Well, we will see if Furman can do that this week. You go back to last year in this matchup down in Charleston, and the Bulldogs came out in their first 2 series throwing the football. And then after that, they went back to running their option-oriented offense. I don't know if we're going to see something like that this time or not. You would figure there would be some kind of little wrinkle that they're going to want to show at some juncture, but they are who they are, to quote Dennis Green, or they are who we think they are, I guess. And what they have done all season is just grind it and grind it and grind it and grind it, and really devoid of massive plays in the running game. Brandon Rainey does have one run of 55 yards. Clay Harris, the B-back, does have one run of 63 yards, and Dante Smith has one run of 22 yards. But they don't have the litany, the high number of those explosion plays that you tend to see out of a team that runs the option. It's a very different, more methodical style that Brent Thompson's team is running this year. It's going to be intriguing to see how this happens. I think the bottom line is, regardless of whether it's the traditional triple option or this more grinded out kind of option we're seeing, the perfect game plan, if you're the Paladins, obviously shut it down. And Dwayne Vaughn, as a defensive coordinator, is going to have his first test in calling a defense against the option. But then get ahead and force them to do things they don't want to do. If the Paladins can get up a couple of scores early, maybe 3 scores like we've seen them do at times this year, you can take the Citadel completely out of what they want to do. We'll see if that happens. It's going to be a test of wills. If both teams are able to move the ball on the ground, this game could be over in 2 hours. The clock could just continue to run. But you look at the numbers, and the Citadel, as mentioned, gives up almost 250 yards passing per game. I think you're going to see the Paladins throwing it around a little bit and trying to take advantage of that deficiency in the Bulldogs secondary. It's going to be a fun game. It always is when these teams get together. They don't like each other. For fans of a certain age, talking with Clay yesterday, his generation, this is the rivalry. And there's going to be a good crowd here on hand, we believe. The Citadel is bringing at least the freshman members of the Corps of Cadets, and we expect the best crowd of the season on hand here at Paladin Stadium tomorrow. 1 o'clock kick, 11:30 with the pregame show on the radio network, the Pepsi Countdown to Kickoff, and we're looking forward to bringing it all to you. All right, when we come back in just a moment, Doug Allison will join us, and we'll shift gears from football to football. We'll talk some soccer with the venerable Furman soccer coach on the other side. This is the Dan Scott Show, and we'll be back in just a moment. Hey, everybody, Dan Scott here, and I want to tell you about my technology partner, Carolina Creative Group. When my show needed a creative technology boost, I turned to Carolina Creative Group. My custom design website is going to take marketing as well as brand strategy and development to new levels. The search engine optimization means that my clients' ads will be seen by more people more often. And if I have any questions, Carolina Creative Group is just a phone call away. Friends, that is just the tip of the proverbial iceberg. You can find out all the ways that Carolina Creative Group can help your business by simply calling 864-250-2012. Again, that's 864-250-2012, or simply visit them online at carolinacreative.co. Carolina Creative Group, technology partner of the Dan Scott Show.
Imagine a university. A university where your passion for protecting local water sources is encouraged. And now, your work not only benefits your career, but the health of those in your community and around the world. This is Furman. This is the Furman Advantage.
If you're looking for auto repair, you want superior work, not inferior parts and worse, inferior pricing. Hi, this is Dan Scott. I take all of my business to Superior Auto Care. That's Chris Burkett at 410 Ross Avenue in Easley. He brought my wife's car back from the dead. There's no other way to say it. For 4 months, it had been sitting with a major transmission issue. Chris was able to diagnose it along with some other problems and get it back and running again. Mrs. Scott is happy, and guys, you know how it is. Happy wife, happy life, right? Well, he can do it all for you, from the simple things like oil changes, brake service, air conditioning service, tires, to major engine and transmission work, even electrical work. Works on domestic cars as well as foreign cars. Again, they're located at 410 Ross Avenue. That's Superior Auto Care. Give them a call today at 864-306-1988. Superior Auto Care in Easley.
Let me tell you something, Cowboy. This rookie can really bring the heat.
He's smoky and spicy with a Chipotle style all his own.
It's a new Montgomery Inn Chipotle barbecue sauce. Make it a part of your home team.
Available now at your neighborhood grocer or online at CincyFavorites.com.
Dan Scott here for Todaro Pizza. Some of you may remember my old radio show in Clemson. Todaro Pizza was a sponsor of mine from the earliest days of the show. And if you know anything about me when it comes to advertising restaurants, if I don't like the food, I ain't going to tell you to go there. I love Todaro Pizza, and now Clemson's Best Pizza has finally come to Greenville. Yes, the new Todaro location is located at 116 North Markley Street, right down the block from Fluor Field. Classic, specialty and stuffed pizzas, calzones, wings, and so much more. The No Limit Lunch Buffet is available 7 days a week for just $8. Monday night is cheap pizza night, and you can try your hand at trivia every Thursday. Todaro Pizza has outdoor dining on Markley. It's open late, making it a convenient stop before or after the drive games. Find them on Facebook or online at TodaroPizza.com. Todaro Pizza, 864-603-3500.
For a child battling a critical illness, a wish come true can be a turning point. One song, one dance, one game, one moment changes everything. Make-A-Wish needs your support to grant more life-changing wishes. Visit Make-A-Wish online now. Together, we can transform lives, one wish at a time.
Dan Scott here for the Atlanta Bread Company. What do I like about Atlanta Bread? Well, too much to mention in a short commercial, but here are a few things. Bread baked daily fresh on site, a tremendous selection of soup, sandwiches, and salads, seasonal special additions to the menu, delicious hot coffee, and a bevy of other drink options. And yeah, can't forget about the baked sweet goodies. Dine in or carry out, and when you have the Atlanta Bread Company app, you can order and pay online, then breeze past the lines to the pickup counter to get your food. Experience it for yourself. That's the Atlanta Bread Company, Cherrydale Point in Greenville. If you're looking for a unique dining experience in the Clemson area, let me suggest Four Paws American Pub, where they have specials like Carolina popcorn, a freshly battered fried okra, which is the hottest selling appetizer and side item in the upstate, or the Bulldozer, the signature burger featuring a fried green tomato, Four Paws pimento cheese and bacon with a smoky house aioli, or you can build your own burger or a fresh green salad from a large selection of toppings. And they also have the teriyaki salmon pan-seared over rice or a bed of green salad. Enjoy terrific food at Four Paws American Pub in Clemson. You can enjoy local recipes while watching games on the TVs or relaxing with your pup on the dog-friendly patio. Come to Four Paws, located on Highway 93 in front of the Courtyard Marriott, or call 654-5151 to order for carry-out and tailgating. You need to make tracks to Four Paws American Pub. All right, welcome back. I jumped the gun a little bit. Doug Allison is going to be here at 10:30, which means that the Jason Donnelly interview will start right around 10:45 or so and run about 10, 15 minutes past 11 o'clock, but that's okay. It is absolutely worth the time. Did this on Wednesday in case you missed it. We'll do it again for you here today, but we always give you the first listen to the highlight package from the previous game that airs in the Countdown to Kickoff, brought to you by Pepsi as the Furman flashback. And, of course, it's the highlights of the win over Samford. If you missed it on Wednesday, of course, you'll hear it tomorrow in the early stages of the pregame. But here it is again, the Furman flashback, the audio tour of the win over the Samford Bulldogs. From the near side hash, and they'll go option to the short side pitch, and a big hole for Devin Wynn, breaking down the near sideline, and he is gone. How about that? One play, 75 yards, and just like that, the Paladins a kick away from tying it up. Devin Wynn to the house. In the pistol, and Granger play action, dropping to throw, going deep, has a man open, Thomas Gordon, chalk it up, touchdown. Deep post, play action, and he put it right on the money. 38-yard touchdown pass, and the Paladins lead it 13-7. Welch to throw, we're rushing three, looking, throws to his safety valve, look out, wow! Quandarius Weems just doubled up the young running back, Jay Staten, right at the 30-yard line, bent him in half with a textbook shoulder to the gut tackle, and that's got everybody in purple on the other side standing up. And handoff on first down, big hole! That is Devin Wynn, and this is a foot race. He is going to go all the way down the near sideline. Touchdown, 89 yards for Devin Wynn. Thomas Gordon wide to the far side. That's the wide side of the field. And Granger to throw. He's going to lob it towards Gordon on the far side. Leaping catch and touchdown. Right at the front pylon on the far side of the field. Gordon's second touchdown catch of the game. It is 34-7 Paladins. In the pistol, and he's going to throw. Pressure, steps up, lets it go. Far side touchdown. Is that Thomas Gordon again? Yes, sir. That's 3 for number 89. Granger put it right on the money. And the Paladins rolling it up here at Seibert Stadium. It is 41-14. Fake the toss. Pressure. Granger steps up, throws. Look at Wynn, wide open down the middle of the field. Had to wait on it, made the catch inside the 20, inside the 15, the 10, the 5, touchdown. Boy, Darren Granger made that play by stepping through two rushing Bulldogs. Fourth down and a long two. And a speed sweep. They faked the reverse. We got him in the backfield and dropped him.
Jordan Willis
ate it up, and the Paladin defense holds and will take over at the 16-yard line. Oladokin to throw on second down. Swing to the ball's batted up in the air.
Yes, sir.
And he dived. Did he intercept it? He did. We picked it off. Which one of the linemen was it? It was Matt Sachovka who batted it up in the air and made the diving interception. And the Paladins turn them away in the red zone for the second straight possession. That was a fun one, 58-14, a 44-point win over the Samford Bulldogs in their house. And again, I talked about a little bit on Wednesday with the thorn that Samford has been in Furman's side since coming into this conference. The last half dozen years or so, it is I would imagine a very satisfying victory. In fact, I talked to Clay Hendricks about that a little bit, and he says, yeah, there's a little extra satisfaction in that one. It was interesting, the next last highlight, when they went for it on a 4th and short and tried the reverse gadget play, and we blew it up, Jordan Willis on the tackle. They ran the same, or at least a very similar play the last time Furman won down there in a 4th and short, and the defense blew that one up as well. Well, you go back last week to VMI, and in a 4th and short, Chris Hatcher ran another gadget play that failed. So, I don't know if it's a lack of confidence in his offensive line when you have to line it up and just run it at somebody to get a yard on 4th down or what the case is, but he has a habit of calling those types of plays in those situations. And I talked to Dwayne Vaughn, defensive coordinator, yesterday, and he actually told his defense to be ready for that play and the timeout that was called before it. Be ready for something along those lines. They were well scouted, and they were ready to go without question. All right, it is 10:25. When we come back, Doug Allison will be here. I just checked with him again. I have my schedule off. It's supposed to be 10:30, not 10:15. One more time, look at the upcoming schedule this week before we go to the break. The only other two games besides ours, Wofford at Western Carolina. Wofford going to be a heavy, or Western Carolina at Wofford, rather. Wofford going to be a heavy favorite in that game. And they have righted the ship after losing their first conference game. They're looking to move to 3-1. And then VMI, as we mentioned, looking to move to 4-1, which will guarantee them no worse than a 500 record in the league as they go to Mercer at 3 p.m. That has been a really, really good story, what Scott Wachenheim has done there with that Keydette program. All right, now we'll take the break. We'll come back, and Doug Allison will join us in just a moment. Hey, everybody, Dan Scott. You know, I've been telling you for some time now that I switched the protection of my home and family to Security Complete. I can tell you that I've been ecstatic with the results. Locally owned with more than 40 years experience in the industry, Security Complete uses nothing but the latest technology, which equals low overhead, which equals greater savings to the customer. Fully automated systems with monitoring rates much lower than the competition. Security Complete gives you all this and does not require a contract of any length. Find out more by calling 864-546-0630 or find them on Facebook and Twitter. Security Complete, my first line of defense. Make them yours today.
We're all trying to find our way, forge a path, blaze a trail. The work is hard and the work is personal, but you can't do it alone. At Furman, we're committed to giving you an advantage, the Furman Advantage. We know that graduates who are emotionally supported and who have deep learning experiences in college are 3 times as likely to be engaged at work and thriving in life. At Furman, all students are guaranteed 4 years of rigorous classroom education integrated with high-impact research, internships, study away, and a community of support every step of the way. This is the Furman Advantage.
Is your roof leaking or damaged? Do your gutters need repaired? You can Google roofing companies until your computer overheats, or you can simply call the best, Bracken Roofing and Gutter. Whether it's roof replacement, new and remodel installation, roofing insurance claims, whatever your needs, Bracken Roofing and Gutter will simply do it right the first time. And the same goes for gutter screen installations. Forget about balancing on ladders and cleaning your gutters. Let Bracken Roofing and Gutter screen them for you today. Listen, do not settle for subpar work. Get a free inspection today. Check out the reviews on Facebook. You'll see many satisfied customers, and they're all saying the same thing, that they're happy that they chose Bracken Roofing and Gutter. That's Bracken Roofing and Gutter. Call Kyle today at 864-704-5993. All right, welcome back to the show as we continue. Doug is on his way up. He'll be joining us here in just a moment. We'll be taking a look at a little bit of momentum for this soccer program now as conference play is open. Injuries aside, they have opened SoCon play 2-0. Remember, only 6 games in the Southern Conference as far as men's soccer goes, and they've won the first 2, including the Quinn game. Angela and I attended that game for the first time. This was the 5th anniversary, or the 5th installment, I guess I should say, of the Quinn game. Young Quinn Cronin, of course, who has Down syndrome, is, I think, 7 years old now, and the game is highlighted every year to raise awareness for Down syndrome. And what is so fantastic about it is that now it's not just Quinn. There are other parents with children who have Down syndrome who are coming to the game, and they all get to go on the field before the game. Both teams come together at midfield with all of those parents and their children, and a massive photo was taken. McNeil Cronin, the father of Quinn and the former Furman soccer player, addressed the crowd, as did Doug Allison, and they were phenomenal. And then you have the highlight of the whole pregame ceremony, and that's when Quinn takes the ball from midfield, goes all the way down the field, and scores the goal. And she does it weaving through the opposing defense. It's a pretty cool moment. And congrats to ETSU for not only understanding what they were doing, but taking part and embracing it. It was a fun moment, and topped off by the fact that they got a 1-0 win, which we're going to talk about with Doug when he gets here in just a moment. But it was a phenomenal evening, and we were glad to actually see it in person for the first time. And I'll just tell you, as a little public service announcement for this campus, if you have not been to really any sport on this campus, but if you've not been to some of the Olympic sports, I would highly suggest that you go check it out. Stone Stadium is a fantastic place to go watch soccer. We had an absolute blast there. The sight lines are great. No matter where you are, you're close to the field. When they get a bunch of people in there, it's noisy, it's rowdy. Got a chance to see the freshmen that Doug talks about with his the ones who come in with the drums and are all painted up and everything else. So we had an opportunity to check that out for the first time, and absolutely had a blast. But whether it's Pepsi Stadium for softball, what they've done to upgrade Alley Gym for volleyball, and then of course the other facilities here on campus, if you haven't been here, we would really invite you to come and take a look and check us out, because it's a great place to be. It really is. We have a wonderful time here. The facilities are fantastic. The people are fantastic. And oh, by the way, the quality of athletics you're going to see is pretty darn good as well. So there you go. All right, we're going to step aside just for a moment, get Doug ready to go, and we'll come back and finally get that interview right after this. Dan Scott here for Todaro Pizza. Some of you may remember my old radio show in Clemson. Todaro Pizza was a sponsor of mine from the earliest days of the show. And if you know anything about me when it comes to advertising restaurants, if I don't like the food, I ain't going to tell you to go there. I love Todaro Pizza, and now Clemson's Best Pizza has finally come to Greenville. Yes, the new Todaro location is located at 116 North Markley Street, right down the block from Fluor Field. Classic, specialty and stuffed pizzas, calzones, wings, and so much more. The No Limit Lunch Buffet is available 7 days a week for just $8. Monday night is cheap pizza night, and you can try your hand at trivia every Thursday. Todaro Pizza has outdoor dining on Markley. It's open late, making it a convenient stop before or after the drive games. Find them on Facebook or online at TodaroPizza.com. Todaro Pizza, 864-603-3500.
For a child battling a critical illness, a wish come true can be a turning point. One song, one dance, one game, one moment changes everything. Make-A-Wish needs your support to grant more life-changing wishes. Visit Make-A-Wish online now. Together, we can transform lives, one wish at a time.
Dan Scott here for the Atlanta Bread Company. What do I like about Atlanta Bread? Well, too much to mention in a short commercial, but here are a few things. Bread baked daily fresh on site. A tremendous selection of soup, sandwiches, and salads, seasonal special additions to the menu, delicious hot coffee, and a bevy of other drink options. And yeah, can't forget about the baked sweet goodies. Dine in or carry out, and when you have the Atlanta Bread Company app, you can order and pay online, then breeze past the lines to the pickup counter to get your food. Experience it for yourself. That's the Atlanta Bread Company, Cherrydale Point in Greenville. If you're looking for a unique dining experience in the Clemson area, let me suggest Four Paws American Pub, where they have specials like Carolina popcorn, a freshly battered fried okra, which is the hottest selling appetizer and side item in the upstate, or the Bulldozer, the signature burger featuring a fried green tomato, Four Paws pimento cheese and bacon with a smoky house aioli, or you can build your own burger or a fresh green salad from a large selection of toppings. And they also have the teriyaki salmon pan-seared over rice or a bed of green salad. Enjoy terrific food at Four Paws American Pub in Clemson. You can enjoy local recipes while watching games on the TVs or relaxing with your pup on the dog-friendly patio. Come to Four Paws, located on Highway 93 in front of the Courtyard Marriott, or call 654-5151 to order for carry-out and tailgating. You need to make tracks to Four Paws American Pub. Hey everybody, Dan Scott. You know, I've been telling you for some time now that I switched the protection of my home and family to Security Complete. I can tell you that I've been ecstatic with the results. Locally owned with more than 40 years experience in the industry, Security Complete uses nothing but the latest technology, which equals low overhead, which equals greater savings to the customer. Fully automated systems with monitoring rates much lower than the competition. Security Complete gives you all this and does not require a contract of any length. Find out more by calling 864-546-0630 or find them on Facebook and Twitter. Security Complete, my first line of defense. Make them yours today.
We're all trying to find our way. Forge a path, blaze a trail. The work is hard and the work is personal, but you can't do it alone. At Furman, we're committed to giving you an advantage. The Furman Advantage. We know that graduates who are emotionally supported and who have deep learning experiences in college are 3 times as likely to be engaged at work and thriving in life. At Furman, all students are guaranteed 4 years of rigorous classroom education integrated with high-impact research, internships, study away, and a community of support every step of the way. This is the Furman Advantage.
Is your roof leaking or damaged? Do your gutters need repaired? You can Google roofing companies until your computer overheats, or you can simply call the best, Bracken Roofing and Gutter. Whether it's roof replacement, new and remodel installation, roofing insurance claims, whatever your needs, Bracken Roofing and Gutter will simply do it right the first time. And the same goes for gutter screen installations. Forget about balancing on ladders and cleaning your gutters. Let Bracken Roofing and Gutter screen them for you today. Listen, do not settle for subpar work. Get a free inspection today. Check out their reviews on Facebook. You'll see many satisfied customers, and they're all saying the same thing, that they're happy that they chose Bracken Roofing and Gutter. That's Bracken Roofing and Gutter. Call Kyle today at 864-704-5993. Just to prove to you that I wasn't lying, as we come back, there he is. Doug Allison is here, the men's soccer coach, and we appreciate him hustling from points all across the globe to get back here with us today. How you doing, man?
Doing great, Dan.
Pull the microphone up a little bit.
All right, I will.
There we go. Yep, there you go. So you're doing well?
Doing good. Beautiful day. Hopefully it stays this way before the rain comes in tomorrow. So, but hopefully it'll stay off a little bit for the football game tomorrow.
Yeah, homecoming. I mean, doesn't it figure you're going to have your biggest crowd of the season? It's homecoming, and the rain, the forecast changes. It's going to come in a day early, it looks like.
Oh, no. It's sad, but hopefully people will still come to the game.
I think they will. We're looking forward to it. So how you been?
Doing great. Busy. We're up in VMI. Had a busy day with the Quinn game and the 10, 20, and 30-year reunions last Saturday, which you were at the game. Did you enjoy your English football game?
We loved it. My wife and I absolutely loved it. Loved the fact that there's so much more to that whole thing than just Quinn. That there are now other families with other children with Down syndrome who come, and they get to come out on the field and participate in the photo and everything else that goes on. It's just a phenomenal thing, and we were very, very happy to be able to finally see it firsthand.
Yep. It was, and Carly Rose made an unbelievable video. I don't know if you've seen it yet. I'll have to get that to you. She's a fantastic videographer, and she made a little a minute collage, 2 minute of footage of Quinn scoring the goal and the Down syndrome kids going out with the players, and a part of McNeil's speech which was acceptance, which was a fantastic speech. But then the fact that this is the 5th year we've been doing this. And Quinn's 7 now, so she's interactive. And so she is everywhere. She's talking, and then she actually got to talk on the microphone and say she wanted to score a goal. But just having the Down Syndrome Alliance here from Greenville, and then having part of the chapter from Kansas here as well, with Wyatt and Emery's brother and their parents, it was just a fantastic day. And a lot of people left a lot of things they were doing just to support McNeil. Those kids are amazing, Dan.
It's really a shame that it happened on fall break, because I know that kept the overall crowd down a little bit. But you did have it was a few hundred people there, and a number of folks who came back for the 10, 20, and 30-year reunion to kind of make it just a massive celebration. And it helped that you actually won the game.
It always helps when you win. Yeah, because at the end, all that was done, and then if you lost the game, it's kind of a bittersweet. But to win that game and get 3 points in the conference in our first game was excellent. And I was really happy for the guys who came back, that supported us in the 10, 20, and 30-year reunion. So I appreciate David May and Rob Victor and Graham Seagraves leading the charges. And it was some of the guys I hadn't seen for 20 years. It really was amazing.
Yeah.
But a lot of them, like Clint Hill and a lot of those guys, brought their wives and kids back. So we had a little kids game at noon before all that, and it was hilarious. All the kids that were playing on the field, and got to see the stadium and the field where their dads played, which was, I feel like a granddad now. I mean, it's really before my time.
I was going to ask you if it was like herding cats.
I teach. Well, yeah. Well, for the players, yeah. And then the kids, they're better than most of the players. I'm telling you. So it was. I've done camp for a number of years. It's not. There's ways of getting them.
That's fantastic. Yeah. In watching how that game played out, and as we've been telling the story of this team, you're down a number of players, significant players, because of some pretty decimating injuries. I love the fact that you've not really allowed that to affect your style. You were the much more aggressive team in that game. You got the one goal late in the first half, but the aggressive style of play, the shots on goal, everything. The most of that first half, especially, was played offensively, and you're into the field.
Yeah, that was deliberate, particularly at home when you've got a bit of a crowd.
How's that for some analysis from a non-soccer guy?
I was stunned. I'm kind of speechless, actually, Dan. I mean, the fact that you had all that. Did someone tell you that? It was not written down. I mean, this is just from your knowledge now. Well, this is osmosis.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I've sat close to you enough to, but you were very aggressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and again, it's because at home, it was the first game. We were doing it for one of the things that McNeil said he said that really stuck in his mind when he played on Greg Griffin's team. He said, we're going to play for the guys who can't play anymore. And he was saying that, and 4 of our guys have had surgery, or with Emery getting the blood clots, and that. But it was the theme of let's play for those guys who can't play, and they all held up the number 3 sign. I don't know how they did it, but it was really, really cool, and that gave us a bit more incentive, and it was, and the Den crowd. The students came back. A lot of them were on fall break, but a lot of them came back and played the drums and stuff. You'll need to come back to next Tuesday's game if you can, or the for Greensboro, when they'll be there in force.
Yeah.
And those kids are fantastic. We got to meet them at lunch with Ty our marketing guy, and he set that up, and we've got them T-shirts now. They got the drums. They're painted up, and I can't believe you didn't paint up, but that's okay. I mean, you were actually at the game, which is cool.
There's not that much paint.
I'm leaving that one.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. But I mean, for a smaller version of the group, I mean, they were active the entire game and making noise and banging the drums and everything.
It makes a great atmosphere, and it's a good student atmosphere. It helps that they know the players now. I mean, a lot of the players came to lunch with them and met them and got to know them. They're from all over the country. I mean, they're from Charlotte, Illinois, Pennsylvania, California. I mean, they're reeling off where they're from. And the student body president, the freshman body president, was in there. And Owen is a good kid. And one of the other boys, Evan, I've been getting in touch with. He wants us to do a community service project together with the team and with them. So it's just going to exponentially just take off.
Yeah, and that's fantastic. And as that group grows and moves on, the freshmen become sophomores. Hopefully they can start recruiting more people. And that's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yep, and it's up to our players to mingle with the student body in general and talk to them about the game and just be good ambassadors of our program. And I really think that the kids like being there because they're so close to the action, and they know the kids now. So they actually. And the funny thing is, like with social media, we were talking about the fact that they can know the other kids from the other team and know something about them, and they can actually make some songs up or some noise up. So, but overall, I think the Down syndrome awareness was the most important thing for that day. And McNeil is just, I think you got to talk to him a little bit after we left. And you talked to him, you interviewed him.
Yes, I did not get to talk to him that night because he was just so surrounded by so many people, but I did have about a 12 or 13-minute interview with him on Friday of last week.
He's quality, isn't he?
He is. He's fantastic.
Class act, and just so proud of what he's done to get that law changed or actually solidified in North Carolina to just allow acceptance for kids that have disabilities. So it's just a fantastic win.
Doug Allison, the men's soccer coach here. So that was the SoCon opener.
Yep.
So you're 1-0 in the league at that juncture. Then go on the road to VMI and in soccer parlance, blow them out. A blowout win on the road, 3-0.
3-0, another shutout, which was good. And again, soccer parlance. I appreciate that, Dan. Do you get blowouts in other? You get blowouts in other games, so it wasn't just a soccer terminology, was it?
Right. But a 3-0 baseball score.
3-0.
3-0. Okay.
3-0.
Well, in baseball it's 3-0.
Yeah, but in soccer it's 3-0.
3-0.
Yeah, we're in soccer season right now.
I understand, but 3-0 in baseball would not be a blowout. 3-0 in soccer, I think, is a blowout.
Yeah, that would be 21 points in the sport you really love.
Baseball?
Oh.
I'm a baseball.
What's your biggest? Is baseball
I'm a baseball guy. Oh yeah, baseball guy.
Baseball's your okay. All right.
Yeah.
So 3-0 or 3-0. I remember the nothing. But on the road at VMI, I mean, they're typically just a tough team to play on the road because they just never know when to stop, when to quit because they're so fit and these guys will just go through you all the time. So it ends up being a physical game. But at halftime we were winning 3-0. We got everyone in. Played a lot of guys. Rocky had a great game, scored a nice free kick, and we actually got to rest a couple of players, which was good. So hopefully by Greensboro we'll get maybe a couple of other guys back. But we're kind of sitting joint top of the league with Greensboro right now.
Yeah.
And we'll see how that plays out because we actually play them next Tuesday.
And just look statistically, you dominated them. It shows a blowout, 24-6 in shots, 9-2 shots on goal. 14-4 in corners. I mean, it's a game again where you were the aggressor.
Mm-hmm. And I like being that way. I like actually playing the game in their half and playing a lot more positive rather than sitting back and being too tactical about this, particularly with some of the athletes we have. And Connor Hubbard, as a senior, has really done well up front. And the energy he's had in replacing Emery has been fantastic. So we certainly miss Emery. Just because of his leadership and what he gives, and Sean Lang is another guy that had ending surgery, season-ending, in fact, career-ending surgery on Wednesday. So it just keeps going on. But we're not going to make an excuse. We're just saying it's your time to step up.
Mm-hmm.
We had a team meeting off away from the campus and talked about it last Thursday and before conference and said that it doesn't matter. You can't lick your wounds like that. You have to step up. A lot of guys come in the office and want time. Well, here's your chance. here's your chance to really step up for the team. And a guy like Tommy Kay, who's a redshirt freshman, was told after the season, Jack Shields is graduating, our captain, and hopefully you'll step in for him. Well, when Luke Tandy, our freshman center back, went down with an LCL season-ending injury, Tommy Kay had to step in. And as a freshman, he's learning on the job.
Mm-hmm.
He's 6'6". It's handy that he's that big and he's aggressive, but he wasn't supposed to be ready till next year. And talk about stepping in. He's done a really good job of that too.
We are visiting with Doug Allison. We try to do it every week to talk about his men's soccer program. So coming into the season, what was Furman Greensboro kind of the 1-2?
No, Mercer was 1. We were 2, and Greensboro was 3. But Wofford just beat Mercer in overtime the other day. So it's conference games are funny, Dan. I mean, they can go anyway. I mean, they're very, very close usually 1-goal games. So you've got to take your chances while you can. So on a side note, the Miles Fenton, who's our English center midfielder, he's a sophomore. His parents, particularly his dad, listens to this every week.
Oh, really?
Loves this. Well, he was here last week, and he actually was visiting with his mom, and so they actually got to come to campus and stuff, and he loves this place. So he's come all the way over from England and got to see it. There was so much going on. I wish I could have introduced you guys, but he watches the show religiously. He never misses it. So just a little shout out. He's back home in England now, so hope you got some good chocolate and got over your jet lag, and it's good to see you.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have met had it worked out, but we appreciate you watching. And listen, man, we're international, right?
Yep.
We're worldwide.
Yep. 2s and
3s of people checking this out across the world. So let's talk a little bit about Greensboro. What's the scouting report?
Well, they've beaten VMI. They beat Belmont 2-1 on the road the other day. They play Wofford Saturday. So I'm just trying to see how that game goes and then get some film on that. 'Cause, like I said, they have a new coach. And really don't get into what they do until about 1 or 2 games before our game, because earlier on in the season they'll have changed personnel, they'll have changed different things. So really want to see how the game goes tomorrow,
right,
with Wofford, and then get a good scout on that on Sunday, and then we'll adjust to our schedule on Monday and Tuesday.
You said a moment ago, maybe in the next game or 2, you've got a chance to get some kids back. Who would they be, and what's the timetable?
I'm trying to we'll see if Ben Hale gets back, our goalie. He still hasn't played. He's played about 3 or 4 games. But I tell you, Max Fisher's done well. He's got 2 shutouts in a row. He's won 3 in a row. So, I think Ben's got to come back and win the spot back. Mm-hmm. It's not just his now. But so it's been good for Max to get that training and get those game experiences. We did get our Icelandic guy back, Arnie, which was good from his concussion protocol. Cole McLagan will be coming back against Greensboro. That's a definite. He didn't play against VMI. So they're in and out. They're all over the place. We lost another boy, Jacob Garzon, to a hamstring, so he hasn't played in 2 games. So we'll see if he gets back. So there's several kids.
Yeah.
But like I said, there's other kids. That's why you have a squad. They're younger, but they're exciting. These guys have never played conference games before, so they're really, really into it.
Has Emery been back around the team?
Yeah, he's back out of the hospital. He's back around. We were at training yesterday at 7:45 in the morning. He was out there. I mean, his job is to help become like a volunteer kind of assistant and take over some forward roles and mentor some of the younger kids. And just having him out there says so much about Emery. Mm-hmm. And I think Sean Langan will do the same thing. He had surgery Wednesday, but he's been around the guys since his injury nonstop. In fact, sometimes I'm like, all right, don't be a distraction. Be there, just have a role, mentor some young guys. In fact, he's trying to get Luke Tandy through surgery right now as a freshman. He's never had surgery.
Right.
So I think our guys are really good about giving back and knowing roles, and the roles they change during the season. They certainly have for those 2 guys, but Emery in particular. If we can get the news of his blood thinners being that once he goes off them in 6 months, then maybe he could play again at some point in his life.
Right,
and that's the most important thing for him. But for him to actually come out and be there, mentor the younger guys like Sean Chris, who's a freshman, who's a very good striker. and not selfishly say, woe is me, I don't get a chance now to play, but turn my efforts and my attentions to be around the team. And he's actually very excited about doing that. But it's got to be tough on him. It's got to be really tough on them. But to get up and you've got to do something. You can't just lie in your bed.
Right.
And just didn't feel sorry for yourself. I mean, there's a lot more to these kids than just soccer. And I told them that. Said, you have other things to offer, boys. I said, and if it's not in the soccer world, there's other things. There's the academics. There's the career. There's the mentoring kids. There's so many other things that you can do that can be positive. So turn your attentions to the positive.
As we've discussed, because of the injuries and the kind of injuries, this has been a year unlike any in your 25 years. What have you learned about yourself?
That every time you think you know what's going on, you don't. And the ability to adjust as a coach is on and off the field. It's not just on the field; it's off. So, there's so many more different things that go on, and there's so much that goes on within the athletic world in the NCAA's. It's incredible. But every semester we have a different group. So the chemistry within the group changes when guys leave after senior year, or a transfer comes in, or someone in the spring changes, or an injury happens, that kind of thing. You've got to adjust so much. And it's not just on the field, it's what's going on with these kids off the field.
Right.
Because right now, a lot of the attention for at the waning end, we've only got 4 regular season games left. I mean, it just flies by. So some of the attention of some of the kids turns to, what am I going to do with my MCATs? What am I going to do in my medical career? What am I going to do in this? And I've been sitting down and talking to these guys individually about stay in the moment. It'll come to you, but stay with it for another month, and then we'll get it. But obviously, don't forget your studies, but know that it's there. But we've got to start setting up interviews. We've got to start setting up internships for these guys in the spring to really go on to their careers that they're meant to have.
Yeah, it's a really unique situation that these kids find them in. And I go back to something Ron Smith used to say to his baseball players around exam time. When you're on the baseball field, that needs to be your focus. You can't do anything about exams. When you're in the classroom, that needs to be your focus. You can't do anything about baseball. Mm-hmm. And so I think in the broader picture, the same thing applies here. You need to be where you are, mm-hmm. not just physically, but mentally.
Yeah, you need to be present. And, it is hard because, most student athletes are dreamers. They're dreaming about a win, they're dreaming about getting a hit. Is that a good analogy? Mm-hmm. A hit, a strike, a catch or something like that, or a goal, or making a play. And it's they do. Typically when they're on the field, they're not dreaming about a math problem, So, but when they get there, we try and keep them. And I like the engaged learning that Furman has, because they call on the kids.
Right.
And so you have to be present in the classroom. And we've been very fortunate with our kids, and all the graduation rates just came out. And most of the teams here at Furman do fantastic. They really do well with the graduation rates and making sure that the kids are present in class. A lot of the coaches, that's the number one thing. They're here to get a degree.
Well, occasionally you hear a coach on this campus make a comment along the lines of, we actually go to class, and they are actual classes, and they are. It's not like the inference being that a lot of schools say that they're high on academics, but Furman lives it. Furman walks it.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of the professors don't know that these kids are student athletes. They're just regular students, and that's okay. But it is tough because their time demands, and they learn the time demands, and managing time is such a big thing for a student athlete, as it is for a music major, as it is for anybody on this campus. They've got to manage the time, and they're just 18-year-old to 21-year-old college kids, and drive you crazy every day, but you love them. Absolutely, you must do. But I think the academics does come first, and the good thing is a lot of our guys are planning on getting their degrees by Christmas, so they can start going for internships or going for what they really dream about afterwards. But we've got several kids like a Max Fisher we talked about. 2 of our seniors are in pre-med, and they want to go on to medical degrees, and they want to get into medicine. And it's funny because McNeil Cronin called yesterday, and Tim Smith, who's another alumni up in Wake Forest and runs the medical department there, are going to meet with 2 of our guys here at Homecoming about the medical programs. And so there's all that's intertwined. There's so much that goes on. That's what I love about the Furman alumni. They stay active. They love these kids. They stay on these kids. They get to know these kids. And a lot of our current team don't realize what they have until they go out there and they ask, and they're blown away by the fact that they are so giving. These alumni are so giving. They'll do anything for the current players.
Yeah. Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, home against Greensboro. 4 regular season games remaining.
Yep.
2 on the road, 2 at home, all conference games. And Tuesday at 7 against Greensboro. This promises to be a pivotal game right now.
They're all championship games right now. 3 points is such an important thing in every game, because if you can get that, everyone else is dropping points somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this Saturday we're actually off, and there'll be 3 other games because there's 7 teams in our conference.
Right.
So yeah, we're hoping to get 3 points, particularly at home. Greensboro's always a tough matchup for us. In the history of it, it's always a really, really tough game. We actually beat them in the final last year, and it was one of the more lopsided games because we ended up winning 3-0 in the conference championship last year and played fantastic. I mean, Emory got 2 goals in that game, and we were without Emory. But Greensboro, in the history of it since I've been here, has been a really, really good game.
Yeah. 7 o'clock at Stone Stadium, Seagraves Field. We hope that a bunch of people will be able to get out and watch it.
I'll see you there, Dan.
You know what? If the schedule allows, we'll try to be there.
Come in.
Come
see the whole den.
Yeah.
The whole student body that's growing. Come and see those guys.
That's fantastic. Doug, as always, man, appreciate it.
Thanks, Dan.
Listen, that'll do it for us. The Jason Donnelly interview is on my YouTube page or at thedanscottshow.com. It's also at Furman's Facebook page and will be on the Twitter page as well. 25 minutes extended interview laying out his plans for this athletic department. You got to see that. It is fantastic. That is, again, at my website, thedanscottshow.com. Easiest place to go. Check it out. Until Monday, we'll remind you one more time that the kickoff for Furman and the Citadel tomorrow is at 1 o'clock. We'll be on the air with the Pepsi Countdown to kickoff at 11:30 and get you set for all the action. Hope that you make it to campus. If you come and bring a radio, you can listen at 95.9 inside the stadium. Always tell people at baseball, bring a radio and you get a double header, the one they're watching, the one I'm calling. So
hopefully it's the same kind of action. So.
Yeah. Well,
can you bring umbrellas to the stadium?
You know, that's a good question.
Yeah, because I don't want rain being an excuse for not coming to this game tomorrow. Okay.
Well, there are plenty of places where you can get a cheap poncho, if nothing else.
I like it.
All right, we are out of here. We'll be back with you on Monday. Until then, go out and make a positive difference in somebody else's life. And until Monday, I'm Dan Scott for Doug Allison saying God bless you. So long, everybody.